Many of you in this room trying to get to breakfast this morning experienced one of our challenges in Georgia, that's traffic congestion. Before the session started, there appeared to be some consensus, not on what we spend the money on, but how we could fund some of our transportation improvements among Tea Party groups, chambers of commerce, environmental groups, but everything seemed to sort of fizzle. Kyle, you want to take on the transportation issue?
Right. I think that was definitely a casualty of election year considerations. I think there was a strong desire by a lot of people not to be branded as if they were increasing taxes in some way, and I think that's a shame. At the same time, there was let me say the two bills in particular that I'm thinking of that were brought forward and didn't ultimately pass. One of them would have modified the Transportation Investment Act of 2010 to allow for what I call sub-regional T-SPLOSTs. In other words, if you think about the Metro Atlanta region, not the full 10-county region, and not even being counties within that region wouldn't even be confined to acting with other counties in that region. They could reach into other regions. For instance, Cobb County was in a different district region from Bartow and Paulding, even though it shares the borders and a lot of transportation concerns with those. So Cobb could, in theory, choose to team up with Paulding, Bartow, and Cherokee to pass a tax, and it wouldn't have to be a full penny, and it wouldn't have to be for 10 years. They could do a third of the penny with those counties, do a third of the penny with the cities of North Fulton. That was another provision in the bill, that municipalities could join with counties and not act as an entire county. And it could do a third of the penny there, and it could do a third of the penny with the city of Atlanta, and something to connect the city with the Braves Stadium, for instance. So that was an idea, and it got held up for political considerations, but also I think there were some policy considerations. There are some people that are reluctant to move away from the big regional idea, the 10-county model here in Metro Atlanta and other configurations in the other 11 districts in the state. I think there are two realities that we have to think about when we think about that kind of a tax. One is that while there are traffic considerations in all parts of the state, the main reason we're talking about a significant increase in transportation investment is Metro Atlanta. And so whatever changes to the TIA or whatever else comes along, that's going to need to be, we need to make sure those changes will work in Metro Atlanta first, I think. And I say that as someone who grew up outside of Metro Atlanta, so I think I understand parts of the state beyond this 10-county region. And the other fact that I think we have to face is that the vote in 2012 tells us that there's pretty much no way we're going to come up with a list that will be passed from Cherokee County to Fayette County to Rockdale County and everywhere in between. If it had been a 8, 9, 10-point loss 2 years ago, you might have had that hope. A 20-point loss like what we saw, the governor himself said that he didn't think that was going to be a possibility anytime soon. So something like that, and that was House Bill 185, is going to have to be part of the mix, I think, and part of that study on transportation spending that we see. Another idea that I know this foundation has supported, and that I think a lot of people see the merits for, is the state of Georgia on the motor fuels tax collects an excise tax per gallon of gasoline and then a sales tax on the sale. That's a 4% sales tax, and only 3 of those 4 pennies, though, go toward transportation. The 4th penny goes into the general fund. And in any given year, you're talking about roughly $180 million. And that would be a big step forward in the state's ability to fund the infrastructure that we need. And I don't think anybody expects us to be able to get there in one leap. I think a multi-year phase-in would be a good idea. There have been bills filed to do that. They haven't been passed yet. It's something I'm sure that this study committee will look at, and something that I think we definitely need to see happen.